Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is going to be your July 2020 horoscope for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. But before I get into that, I want to mention that I have an astrology course now that is put together. It is going to be an online, pre-recorded class where you can go through the modules and sections learning through the astrology, and that is something that you can find in my Facebook group. I will also be adding it into Udemy and Teachable coming up in the future, so I will let you know the details on that as we are moving ahead. And for those who are interested in going to the Facebook group for the class, the link will be in the description and down below. Now, getting into today's horoscope, this is going to be your July 2020 horoscope for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and I do recommend this for your rising sign, as we're going to be going through the houses with these transits and how they are affecting you through the month of July. So these are going to be the main transits as we are going through this month, and this is going to be a slightly less intense month going into this. However, we are strongly still being affected for those of you with Capricorn rising with all of this Pluto and Jupiter that is going on in your first house. So that is a main factor where you are going through this very intense transformation within your life for those of you with Capricorn rising. Now, as Saturn goes retrograde, it is moving back into the sign of Capricorn. So we have had Saturn retrograde in the sign of Aquarius since May, and we had that sneak peek where Saturn has been here in the sign of Aquarius, welcoming us into this new reality, because remember that Saturn is ruling over our reality. It is the physical construct that we are living in. And so the authority and the role for a very long time now, since 2008, has been dependent upon the government and the systems and the structures that have been in place. And as Saturn has shifted into the sign of Aquarius, it has been a major shift where the role and the responsibility, the call to step up, has been towards the people and our duty as a collective. And that has been the sneak peek that we have seen here with this Saturn and Aquarius. But as it retrogrades back into the sign of Capricorn, it is coming back to the old reality where we are back in the old traditions of the government, of the system, of the rules, of the infrastructure. And so the focus is coming off of us coming together as a collective. And remember that this has been a sneak peek that we will see actually finally play out as Saturn stations back into the sign of Aquarius in December. So we are in this space now where Saturn is retrograde. It is reviewing these old systems and structures that have been in place as it's coming back here into the sign of Capricorn. So this is coming back into an old reality that has been broken down and destroyed and crumbling. Remember that Pluto has been here, and it came into that big Pluto-Saturn conjunction there at the beginning of 2020, where this has been the ultimate breakdown of our reality, of our old paradigm. And so with Saturn coming back retrograde into Capricorn, this is really a test of whether you are going back into that old reality. And really for you, Capricorn, this is your reality as this is happening through your first house. This is your perspective that is being broken down. This is your old way of being, your old way of presenting yourself and entering into the world that is being broken down, this old persona. And so this is a major shift and change that is happening within you and your persona for those of you with Capricorn rising. Now with Saturn coming into this retrograde place, this is going to be a major time in your life where you are going back, reflecting on who you were in the past. And so this is a major time where you don't want to run into going back and being the way that you were in the past. This is going to be a major time where fears, where insecurities, where lessons are coming up, which is testing whether or not you are going to return to your old self. So this is what is happening here for those of you with Capricorn rising. And on the 5th of July, we actually have a full moon lunar eclipse that is happening in Capricorn as well. And so this full moon lunar eclipse is closing the chapter to this 3-part eclipse season that we entered into. So this lunar eclipse is going to be the release point of that solar eclipse that we saw in the sign of Cancer. And this is going to be a major moment where you are clearing, once again, that old image, that old persona, that old perspective of who you are and how you are entering into the world. Because remember that we had that solar eclipse that entered into your 7th house here on the 21st of June, where that was that portal of entering into a brand new perspective, a brand new way of seeing in your life, as this has been a change in your perception. And so as you are in this space where this has been a time of changing your perspective and unlocking your creative potentials, this is going to be a major time of understanding that now it is time for you to release and let go of that old image of who you once were. This is a time for you to step into who you truly are, truly expressing who you truly are in this moment, as we have this full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn, which is unlocking this brand new image, this brand new perspective, this brand new approach to life for those of you with Capricorn rising. So this is a big shift that we are going through here with this full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn for those of you with Capricorn rising. Again, some of you with Capricorn sun or moon may feel this as well, but this is happening very strongly for that first house of Capricorn. Now on the 12th of July, we have Mercury coming direct in the sign of Cancer. So this is going to be Mercury stationing direct in your 7th house. And we talked about how Mercury was stationing retrograde there in your 7th house of marriage, of contracts, of relationships, where it really has been a time of rethinking and reevaluating the people that you are connecting to, the people that you are interacting with, the things that you are agreeing to in your life. And so as Mercury comes direct, now it is finally the realization of what it is that you need to connect to, what it is that you need to bring into your life, who are the people that you are associating with. And so Mercury direct here is going to bring forth this desire to communicate, to connect to the people in your life very strongly coming into this month of July. And so this is going to be a big time where you are pulling in ideas and information and support from others through communication. And so this will be a great time for those of you with Capricorn rising to start putting your ideas out, to start getting ideas from others, to start to connect, to start to communicate, to push for that expression of your thoughts and ideas. Because remember that you have this creative ability and potential that is coming out here for those of you with Capricorn rising, as this is Taurus that is sitting in your 5th house of creativity. Now on the 20th, we have a Cancer new moon. And remember that we entered into this eclipse season with a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, but not with a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. So this is going to be our second Cancer new moon that is happening here in July, where we had the Cancer solar eclipse that happened there in your 7th house. This is a second new moon that is happening that is a normal, regular new moon, where this is not so much of the intense change that happened here in your 7th house, but it is a new realization that is happening here, a new path, a new journey as we're entering into this new lunar cycle. And so this is opening up you to new people, to new opportunities. For some of you, there are job opportunities that are happening here, right? For some of you, there are new contracts, new negotiations, new agreements that are coming through here with this Cancer new moon that is happening. And so this is a great time for putting your ideas and thoughts out there and getting the thoughts and ideas of others across, and planning, coming up with new ways of bringing in money, of connecting, of joining in on partnerships and teamwork. This is coming in very strongly for those of you with Capricorn rising. So there's a lot here that you can create. There's a lot here that you can experience that is tied and connected to your relationships and to the people that you are interacting with. Now, the last thing that is happening here is this sun entering into Leo. So this is the shift of the season that is happening here, where we are leaving behind the Cancer season that we are currently in, which is about our feelings, our connection, our past, our home, our family. And we're coming into this phase of the Leo season, which is connected to that joy, which is connected to love, which is connected to pleasure, right? And so remember that Leo is sitting in your 8th house, where many of you here with Capricorn rising are very serious, very strict, very stern. This fun, expressive Leo side is hidden within your 8th house, where many of you are not necessarily expressing this fun, playful side of yourselves unless you are in an intimate, private relationship. And so what's happening here with this sun is it is opening up this 8th house where you may feel more expressive, you may feel more open during this time, more creative, right? This is opening up that 8th house. And as the sun is entering into your 8th house, this is also opening up you as far as going deeper, finding deeper connections with others. And so once again, this can be a big time where this is affecting you as far as your relationships, where you are connecting more, where you are expressing yourself more, putting more of your ideas, more of your creativity out into the forefront. And as the sun is coming into this 8th house, this can also be a big time of realizing what was hidden away from you. This 8th house is connected to our fears, our insecurities. It is connected to the unconscious, right? It is this dark, mysterious house. And so as the sun is coming in here, it is being the light in the dark, where this can reveal a lot to those of you with this Capricorn rising, where this can be a big time of having to face your fears, having to go through deep inner transformation, right? So this is a very powerful time, as this is encouraging you to go deeper. This is encouraging you to express yourself more, to go into your transformations, to go into your true power. And so this can be a big time where you are choosing to express yourself on a deeper level for those of you with Capricorn rising. Now I'm going to go into the cards here as well, and I did pull from the Rider Tarot deck, the Black Moon Astrology deck, and the Connolly Tarot deck. So we're going to go ahead and get into these cards. And starting off here, one of the big things for those of you with Capricorn rising that we talked a little bit here with the transits is you are letting go of a lot, right? This is a major change in who you are and how you are expressing yourself that is taking place here in the month of July. And so we have, first of all, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, where you are no longer in this place of planning, of working, of waiting, right? This is your time where everything that you have waited for, everything that you have set into motion is coming into fruition. And so this is a big time where everything that you have planned for, everything that you have worked for is starting to play out in your life, right? And we talked about how that sun is in your 8th house, where this deep hidden place is having the light shed on it, right? And so a lot of what you are trying to accomplish, a lot of what you are trying to achieve is coming to the surface. And one of the big things that we discuss here is this 8th house being a money house, and how the 8th house is always in an opposition to your 2nd house. And of course, in that 2nd house is where we had Saturn spend a great deal of time here in the sign of Aquarius, where this has been a big moment of waiting for your success, waiting for your money to come in, waiting for your security to come in. And now Saturn is leaving, moving into that first house, where now we have this sun entering into your 8th house, where this is a big moment for those of you with Capricorn rising to create wealth, to create income, to bring in security, to bring in the success that you were looking for in your life. And so this is a big time where this is the big reveal. This is the big moment where the waiting is over. And that is a big part of this journey of transformation that you are going through here, Capricorn. One of the bigger things that is happening here as well is dealing with these swords, right? We're dealing with the 8 of Swords and the 7 of Swords, where this is time for you to release and let go. And so for those of you who have been holding on to these fears, these insecurities, this is a big time of releasing and letting go. And for many of you here with Capricorn rising, we are dealing with your fears and insecurities. Big time, right? This is a big transformation that you are going through with that sun in your 8th house, where this is a big time of shedding light on the struggles, on the difficulties, of going in deep and facing these areas that need to be addressed, right? So for those of you with Capricorn rising, this is a big time of not only bringing in wealth, of not only bringing in success, but also of needing to go internally on a deep level to address these blocks, these challenges, right? And this is a big thing that many of you are doing here for those of you with Capricorn rising. And so this is a big time where many of your worries and stresses are being released during this month of July, right? The weight is being lifted for many of you here with Capricorn rising. And some of you may feel this if you are a Capricorn sun or moon as well, where there is this big weight that is being lifted off of you. Next card here is the Hierophant, and this is, again, connected to that money house and connected to that creativity, as this is the original card of Taurus, where this is connected to your security, it's connected to your finances, right? It's connected to your possessions. And we have Taurus sitting in your 5th house, and of course that sun being connected to the 5th house is sitting in that 8th house, where this is a big time of opening up, expressing yourself, putting your ideas out there in order to bring in this wealth. And so this is a big time of standing in your truth, standing in your values, holding that faith, that belief, and fully holding that worth within yourself. And so during this time, for those of you with Capricorn rising, you are in a very strong place where you have gone through this experience, you've gone through these challenges, right? You've gone through this change with that Pluto that's been sitting in your 1st house here for a great deal of time, where this has been a major transformation within yourself. And so this is a big time of standing in your worth, standing in your values. This is a big time where there is success that is happening here in the lives of Capricorn. Next card here is the 2 of Swords. So this is a major choice and decision that must be made through your intuition, through your inner guidance, right? And we talked about with that Hierophant how this is going to be a time of stepping into your true faith, leaving behind those wounds, right? That pain. And so for those of you who are here and you are still in the past, still in your pain, still in your challenges, this is a major time of releasing. And this is a major time of choosing your intuition, choosing your ability to move into the direction of your inner guidance. So this is a major time where your internal navigation is directing you in the direction of your success, in the direction of your dreams. So This is a major time of making a choice or decision without seeing the physical results, right? This is a time where you will have to trust in your intuition. Next card here is the 6th house in reverse, right? So this is a big time of letting go of the anxiety, of the worry, of the stress, and just allowing yourself to navigate through your intuition, through your inner knowing. For those of you with Capricorn rising, right? We talked about how this is a sun in your 8th house, where this is about going deep. This is about feeling into your depths. And so there's a lot of going deeper and trusting in your true intuition, right? So we're not seeing the direction here in the physical. The 6th house is in reverse, where we don't have all of the answers. But this is time for you to dive into your inner knowing, right? This is a major time of diving into your inner knowing. Especially with that solar eclipse that we had in your 1st house there on the 21st, where this has been a major moment of waking up to who you truly are and diving into the unknown, of fully letting go of that old image of who you thought you were. And so there's a lot here that is in trusting in your intuition to navigate you. The moon is our next card here. This is a time of deep feeling. This is a time of trusting your intuition, trusting your inner feelings. With the moon here, you are receptive. You have this inner knowing that is navigating and guiding you through this time. And so it is a big time of trusting in that. For those of you who are in this place of anxiety and worry, who are not trusting your inner feelings to navigate you, you're blocking yourself from this success, from these gains, right? Jupiter return in reverse. Many of you are not seeing what you can gain from this experience. And so this is a big time to bring in wealth. This is a big time to bring in joy into your life. This is a big time to bring in success for those who are trusting in your inner navigation. Next card we have here from the Connolly Tarot deck is the 7 of Cups in reverse. So you're not willing to make this decision, right? We talked about how this is a decision that you have to make to trust in your intuition. And coming into this, for those of you with Capricorn rising, there is this feeling of no longer being confused, no longer being lost, no longer having to question the path. You know the path, right? You have the intuition, you have the inner knowing, where this is an internal decision that needs to be made here. For those of you with Capricorn rising. So you know the choice, you know the direction. And so what is the decision? What is the choice to get there? And we see the 7 of Swords show up again, where you must face the challenges, you must face the difficulties to bring yourself into a space of true harmony. So this is a time here of truly stepping into your true harmony, your true peace, right? And in this Connolly Tarot deck, we do associate the 7 of Swords with harmony. And that's something different that we're seeing when we look at that Rider Tarot deck, where it is more about trying to carry on with something that no longer serves you, right? Trying to take something that is no longer of value to you. And so both of these are about letting go. Letting go of the dead weight in your life. Letting go of the anxiety, the worry, the stress of what you're trying to carry with you. And so for those of you who are in this place of worry, of stress, this is a big time for you to let go of the thoughts, of the feelings that you are carrying. This is a big moment of release for those of you with Capricorn rising. And this is happening with this lunar eclipse in your first house, where it is time to let go of your perspective. It is time to let go of the old you, the old attachments in your life. And so big time of releasing and letting go in order to make room for the abundance that is coming into your life. So that was your horoscope for Capricorn rising, sun, or moon for the month of July 2020. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And feel free to join the group Astro Metaphysical Love and Light to share any of your wisdom, motivation, or spiritual advice. And I will see you all in the next video.